we plugged in? We are. Here we go. Hello, Pete. We're doing StreamYard because my internet's not cooperating, and whenever my internet, it's weird when it's. Hold on, I have to adjust my mic so it doesn't keep doing this. But whenever my internet, oh my god, whenever my internet is acting funny, bro, I'm going crazy. Whenever OBS, whenever my internet is, I'm losing my mind. Whenever this is really unfunny. Whenever my internet is not cooperating, dude, the sentence is cursed. It won't. I can't talk. Whenever my internet isn't working, OBS stops working, and I have to use StreamYard. So right now we're using StreamYard. But we have some interesting stuff coming up. Tomorrow's severe weather event looks interesting. Looks to have some higher end potential that could possibly be realized, but I'm really iffy about any higher end potential from that. Synoptics look great. Looks like a slam dunk tornado outbreak. If only there was enough moisture. And we're already overperforming moisture by quite a bit. We have low 50s by the Red River, which is pretty interesting because the HRRR wanted red mid 50s max in central Oklahoma by late evening tomorrow, and we already have low 50s by the Red River. So that's interesting because if we realize mid 50s, mid or upper 50s along the dry line, it could get interesting tomorrow. It could get interesting tomorrow. I'm honestly though, you know what I'm eyeing? Tuesday, okay, and mostly because I live in Indiana, so I'm biased. But there is a developing event that looks fantastic, if you ask me. In terms of chasing, looks pretty fantastic. I'll show here one of those lower end events, but check this out. So we get a nice plume of. We are really far back, aren't we? Oh no, we're good. We get a nice plume of low 50s, low mid 50s across Indiana, and super cool temps aloft. So it aids in pretty sufficient destabilization, and we have actually a really killer environment for photogenic tornadoes. The storms are moving pretty quick. However, this is damn good. I mean, this is really good for those those Indiana, Illinois early season events that are aided. It's not a cold core event, but that are really aided by those cold by that cold air loft that overspreads even just modest moisture. And man, does it do wonders. It honestly reminds me a little bit of the Henry Day just 2 months ago. It reminds me of Henry, but kind of cracked out in the sense that it looks like we might have more instability, which would be honestly fantastic because these photographs are really supportive of, and especially in these kind of environments, you don't have a ton of moisture. You're not going to have a ton of precipitation with these storms, and they're going to be low topped. You can see over here the equilibrium's below 9 kilometers. We're chilling at like 8 or so. So I mean, these are really low top storms, and with just an absolute butt load of 3 Cape, and again, that venting is really nice too. So I mean, these storms would be, should they have tornadoes, should they produce tornadoes, they would be very photogenic. They'd be very photogenic, and honestly, the moisture keeps uptrending, and therefore your instability is going to grow. And depending on how much this instability, depending on in this is the NAM. So the NAM compared to what, I don't know, the ARRR could show on day one, we could be performing those dues 2-3 degrees higher, and that would be serious, because then we'd be realizing even higher tornado potential if we got that instability in that 1,000 1,500 mixed layer 1,500 mixed layer cape range, especially with such low top storms. I mean, right here you can see that we're dealing with about 500 mixed layer cape. A fifth of all of that is in the lowest 3 kilometers. That is nuts for tornadoes. I think a lot of people have an idea of in their head of like, for tornadoes, you need 1,000 cape. You need 150 meters squared per second squared of storm relative velocity. People go by these threshold values, but I don't care as much about the threshold of instability rather than the vertical distribution. And I think that's how most people look at it. But you know, 500 cape doesn't sound like a lot, but when your storms are half as tall as they would be in late spring, you don't need as much instability, obviously. You know, and especially with these type of events, instability is usually really, really modest. But the low level instability is usually gets the job done, and those lapse rates are really, really steep too. I mean, look at that, 8.5 degrees Celsius a kilometer in the lowest 3 kilometers. I mean, that's pretty nuts. And the moisture just continues to uptrend with every run. And this isn't just the NAM. The GFS actually has the exact same event, and it's literally, I'm pulling pretty fantastic tornado soundings over my house, and just an hour, 30 minutes away or so. So, I mean, this looks really, really nice. Honestly, that looks really, really nice. I'll just take somewhere out of Northeast, and I mean, that's good, man. That's good. Again, hodographs, obviously, they're very straight hodos, but again, the kinematics of these types of setups are a little less important. You can get it done with a lot of 3 cape and some speed shear. Um, Wind shear is definitely a little more directional than what the GFS is showing, especially later in the day. We could push into Ohio a bit, and I think we get a little more. Yeah, yeah. See, this is, again, it's underdoing the instability a bit more, but this is really nice. Like, so I'm excited for Tuesday, frankly, because it's a chase day. The SPC outlook comes out in about 14 minutes. We'll see if they put a moderate or a moderate. Wow. We'll see if they put a marginal there. Um, 2 viewers, you fell off. I guess I did fall off. I fell off. I didn't realize it was 2 viewers. Have I just been talking to myself? Well, my mic cut out, but have I just been talking to myself? It's unfortunate. But no, Tuesday looks like a good day. Tuesday looks like a really, really good day for photogenic tornadoes in Indiana. So we'll be we'll be out there, man. We'll be out there. My only gripe with this is that the storm motions are really damn fast. I mean, near highway speeds, and that is tough. It's one of those days where you got to get way ahead of the storms. So when they get to you, they're already mature. You got to pick one and you got to commit, and you only got like 30, 40, 50 minutes with them, because, dude, it is damn hard to keep up with these guys when they're moving so fast. And Indiana doesn't even have that poor of road networks. They have a pretty good road network, especially with all the cornfields. But, man, dude, it is not easy to keep up with storms going 50, almost 60 miles an hour. But it's one of those, you just got to get out there anyway. You just got to get out there. And especially as certain storms mature, they're going to slow down just a little bit. This isn't going to be a Dixie event. They're not going to fly. I mean, obviously. But so I'm expecting, 40, 50 mile an hour storm motions. and photogenic tornadoes if we're able to get any. But dude, I'm excited. I'm excited, man, because I don't have to go very far. It's like a 1 by 1 square mile grid. That's how it is. That's how it is in a lot of central Indiana and a lot of eastern Indiana. Is It's a grid. It's really easy to operate. It's really, really nice. Once you get on your storm, you basically just don't need GPS or anything like that. You can just look at it and move around how you need to. But I'm excited, man, because it is very promising. It's one of the more promising local setups of the year. Um, Again, it reminds me a lot of that Henry tornado day earlier, uh, 2 months ago or whatever in February. Or I guess it was 1 month ago, almost two now. But it reminds me a lot of that day, man. It reminds me a lot of that day, just in the sense of, I mean, everything looks really similar. Um, just there's less low level stability to worry about, and hopefully we can. The thing about the Henry Day is the moisture return wasn't fully realized. Um, we still got some tornadoes out of it. We got a significant tornado in Wisconsin from all those mergers, and I still got to bag a tour that day. But we didn't even fully realize our moisture. The moisture return was pretty lackluster compared to what like the HRRR was showing, for example. And um, if we're able to get this moisture that's forecasted right now into Indiana, which probably won't be that hard, then we're in for it, man. We're in for a good day. We're in for a good day. Got a good feeling about this day. A lot of the past setups haven't been very good. Like we lacked a lot of low level wind shear with well, the last setup, I say that, but the last setup was really, really good. The Indiana Ohio day, obviously, but before that, there was that one Illinois day where everybody was reporting gustnadoes as tornadoes, and we lacked like a ton of low level shear. We couldn't really get much done. Our storms would just kind of gust out. But they were pretty strong, man, and had some really, really good structure, really pretty motherships. And there was that one storm that the RFD uh, pushed out on top of me. That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. Then before that, there was um, that one day where there was kind of a localized tornado outbreak along the warm front on that 10 hatch day, the dual 10 hatched with the one in southern Indiana and the one the Gary waterspout day. That was a fun day too. That was good. I didn't go on the warm front storms because I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to chase HP supercells at night. I didn't. I went on the sunset discrete supercell, and I missed the tours. But I don't feel. I'm honestly okay with missing tornadoes if I have to put myself at risk to get them. You know what I mean? I never feel very comfortable around HP storms in general. Well, not at night in general. I don't like chasing at night. I'm not a big fan of night chasing. And when it's HP storms at night, no way. I'll chase LP storms at night. I just did last week, but when they're really HP and you can't really see anything, they're really dangerous, honestly. And I prefer to stay away from them because it's easy to, you just can't see anything. You just really can't see anything, and it's freaky. So, but this is going to be just a daytime photogenic tornado day. At least that's the hope. Really excited. Really excited to just get back out there. We've been chasing on average once a week, or once every 2 weeks. I mean, it's been pretty busy in the Midwest, which I'm really happy about. It's been pretty busy up here. Definitely a shortage of Dixie events, but that's as to be expected, where we're not in that La Nina. We don't have those big, deep digging nonstop troughs that we've had in the past few years. So we've had those just systems that just go, south of the Gulf or just on the Gulf. That's why, I mean, we've seen so many like crazy tornadic waterspouts this year already. Did you guys see that radar loop of the the supercell in Havana, super crazy hailer, and then it continued on and became a water spout producer in the Gulf. It was really cool. And it was a lot. It was going for like 13, 14 hours straight. It was the highest V rods have been water spouts. Yeah, yeah. Now that I think of it, yeah, we had a nearly 200-mile-an-hour gate to gate water spout with the Panama City day just before it when it cycled and then impacted Panama City. It was like 200 miles an hour gate to gate. It's kind of crazy. Hmm. That stream we did that night was pretty crazy. There were people who were coming in saying that they lost like their fences and stuff. Like there were people who were actually hit by the tornado. There were people that were in the path that we were able to help and stuff, and that was so crazy. That was a really gratifying thing. Like to know that we were actually doing something. Good night, 43. Everybody tell Mr. 43 good night. Outlook is in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And they have that and they removed the tornado probability for Iowa. Um that cold core esque event in Iowa tomorrow, which or not tomorrow, but for well, technically tomorrow, um, Monday. I mean, it looks really bad. It looks really bad. I feel bad because there were some chasers that were excited about that, but oops, cut out again. But it looks really bad. Like I wouldn't even drive an hour for that if I lived there. That's how bad it looks. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's popcorn thunderstorms, maybe some tiny hail and damaging. Not even. Not even. I mean, it looks very bad. So you get watch time, Papa. Thank you, 43. You're giving me money. 4 minutes. I really hope they put that marginal in there. I think it'd be smart to put it in, or a general thunderstorm and mention it, because at this point, the agreement is there to for a 2%, in my opinion. The agreement is very much there for a 2%. All models are on board. All the ones that we can see are pretty on board. And depending on how we trend closer and closer to time, I mean, this could be a slight risk type tornado day. Granted, I am getting a little bit ahead of myself because I'm excited, but you know, this could easily be a 5% if it, if we keep going. What's up, weather team spotter? How are you today? 3 minutes from the outlook. 3 minutes. Good to hear. Good to hear. I think today might be bad. Today could get interesting. Today could get really, really interesting. One of my main concerns with the setup is moisture. I mean, it could pop off. Tomorrow could easily become one of those days that that early solidify this year, But moisture is so lackluster that it's really hard for me to like really sit down and hey, it's actually the year anniversary of Rolling Fork now. Now that I think about it. It's 3/24/24, man. I can't believe it's been a year. Wow. Dude, it feels like a couple months ago. Like not even kidding, it feels like a couple months ago. That was really weird. Time is going by too fast. It's kind of uncomfortable. Uncomfortably fast. Let me share my screen. And then I'll refresh it once we get to 3:30, and then we'll be able to see what they do. I'm hoping they pull it, dude. That'd make my week. Never been more hyped for a marginal. They did. Oh my god, they pulled it. Bimodal marginal. Look at that, dude. Right off the bat, SPC coming in hot with the bimodal marginal. Nice. They did it, man. They did it. They did it. Oh, hell yeah, man. Oh yeah, look at that. Just in that area too. They did a good job with that placement, man. They pulled the marginal. All right, let's see what they I'm glad they pulled it, man, as they should. Uh Here we go. This is the outlook discussion. Very strong. Oh, let me. I don't want anything to come out. A very strong mid to upper level jet. Trailing cold. Most guidance indicate low 50 surface dew points should be present at late Tuesday morning. As far north as the Indiana Michigan border vicinity. Cold mid-level temperatures with somewhat steep and lapse rates aloft, coupled with modest daytime heating, should support the instability of weak instability. As we were talking about earlier, strong deep layer shear should foster convective organization with any low top supercells that can form. So supercells are expected. Supercells are expected with the deep layer shear. Isolated severe damaging winds appear to be the main threat with this activity, given the forecast strength. But some hail may also occur within the most robust cores. No tornado mentioned just yet, which is really interesting. Given I think the tornado threat might be higher than any hail threat, but I think they're just holding off for now. Either way, dude, that's a marginal. It's a marginal right there, baby. Let's go, man. Let's go. I think they're holding off on any tornado wording to just see how this thing develops because it's pretty tornado-y if you ask me. I mean, it's pretty damn tornado-y. But man, and they're really going with the low end here. They really went really conservative with that 500 mixed layer cape or less. I mean, it could easily push that 1,000 by day one, but we'll see, man. I'm really glad they actually pulled that marginal. I mean, I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Here we go, man. Busy, busy chase week ahead. Oh, we'll have to wait for cams to really decide on targeting, but it doesn't look very hard. That's for sure. It doesn't look like a very, a chase that would take too much thought. Um, but man, we also have the day two 5%. This day also looks interesting. I'm gonna be honest. Um, but man, I just with this year and man, this year and we're not in that La Nina. I just really don't like the look of a lot of these. Our moisture is very lackluster, and warm sectors are really skinny. I mean, it looks pretty bad. So this 5% is there, and people are obviously mentioning that conditional strong tornado threat, which there always is with Dixie. There always is. I swear to God, anytime you have a 1 joule a kilogram overlap with 1 degree or one unit of wind, there's a strong tornado threat. But I'm just not fully convinced on this day yet either. Could easily just be one of those rainy 5% that literally don't do anything. We can take a look at it though with the HRRR. I think the HRRR is now it's in range of this. Yeah, and that is just such a small warm sector. I mean, it's such a tiny pinched off warm sector, and um, it's definitely a concerning look, though. It looks like we do have prefrontal supercells develop uh, in Louisiana right there. I mean, that's pretty concerning. But what kind of environment are they in? Actually, a pretty kick-ass environment, kinematically, of course. But just will there be instability to support that enough? Will there be again with Dixie, your lapse rates are always lacking because you have such a there's so much moisture. You have such a deep moist layer. Um, I mean, gosh, you're so saturated, it's almost too much. So your lapse rates are usually really poor in the low levels. So I mean, on that one, and then of course tomorrow and along the dry line, which the HRRR is having an issue convecting, which I mean is not surprising in these more subtly forced cooler events. The HRRR struggles really hard with convection. Um, how about the 6Z? See, that's more like it. That's more like it. Um, I mean, that's good. That's good. I mean, we'll probably see some tornadoes tomorrow, but some for chasing, You know what I mean? Like, there's tornadoes that are of concern, and there's tornadoes that are good to chase, right? Like, all tornadoes are inherently concerning, but there are some tornadoes that are just so weak and so rural, you know. Um, but so I think this is a good for chasing kind of thing. It could get out of hand. It really could if we uptrend again. If we really get that moisture higher than forecasted, we really could see it get out of hand. But I'm not totally sure of that yet. But it's on the table. It's on the table. You just gotta watch it like a hawk. Uh, but I just wanted to do this little short live. We talked about weather a little bit. I'll I think I'll just hit the hay. Just wanted to talk about weather for a bit, see how you guys were doing, what was going on. But I think I'm gonna end it here. So thank you for everybody who joined the quick 30-minute. But yeah, just wanted to go live before the Outlook comes out, give some of my thoughts on the upcoming stuff. So everybody have a wonderful sleep and a good night.